Oh guys, Alex Fedotoff here, and in this video, first of all, wanted to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. But thank you guys for everything that you did like this year. You watched the videos, you executed, and some of you guys got amazing results, and I'm very happy about that. But I wanted to share basically the insights that I want to carry on like into 2021, some of the mistakes and some of the things that I want to learn, basically the strategy for 2021 that we're now putting together. So we are now in Disney World or Disneyland, I don't know how it's called correctly, here in Florida, and having some time off and basically planning the next year to just get the most out of it. A lot of things that obviously 2020 was like very unpredictable year. Like no one expected that this shit will happen, with COVID. But for our business in particular, it was very, very positive. Like we've just tripled basically our volume with the business, and it has been tremendous year. And for a lot of you guys, I know it also has been very, very good year. So I wanted to basically share the insights that we've had and basically the things that we'll carry moving on. So, one of the things that happened, for example, for me, like this particular year is that, our business has exploded, right? Like it just, we started to generate a lot more sales, and, we obviously been like very profitable, but at the same time, we focused all of our attention on the business itself. I, for example, personally, I have lost track of other things that have been important, right? And if you only push the business, if you only push like one direction, only business working, right? And then neglecting, the relationships, the health, all other elements of your business, then sooner or later it will get you, right? It will get you in a way where, you either will not have the energy to work like in a full capacity, or your like relationships will be damaged, and you will not, relationship with your wife, husband, your family, your kids, or your relatives, depending who plays a big role in your life. But all of that attention, and just put it into your business, then obviously your business might do well for short term, but then long term it will hit you, right? It will start distracting you, because then now you, let's say, ruined or like damaged your relationships. Now you have to dedicate the time and an effort to fix them. And with health, for example, what happened with me is like, I was like working long hours and trying to put as much time as possible into business, and same time not monitoring like what I eat, when I eat, and not going to the gym like as often as I should. So I gained like 25 from more like 30 pounds, right? So it's more than 30. It's like 35 pounds of weight, of fat, and we've sold, tens of millions, tens of millions of dollars of weight loss products that help people like lose weight and stuff. And all of these products, as you know, they're more like focused on the instant kind of like solution, right? On the instant solution, you do something, you just take this pill, and you can neglect the nutrition, you can neglect the exercises. Now I'm in a situation where I realize how hard it is, right? For me, it's like I was thinking, why people buy these, these solutions, like these pills, these gadgets, if they can just go to the gym and have good nutrition. Now I'm in a position where I see firsthand how difficult that is, how difficult it is to maintain like a good, nutrition, go to the gym. And so like this year, I would like to, this next year, I've took that lesson, and I'll just dedicate more time every single day, beginning of the day. I'll dedicate like extra, probably like hour of the day to just take care of my health, right? Make sure that maybe even cook myself, exactly the ingredients that I know are, healthy. We have a cook, but sometimes, she wouldn't cook exactly, what is the most healthy option. And so basically structuring that part of life, because that part of life will impact the business eventually, right? If you neglect that part, then sooner or later it will get you, right? And there are like many people that are, for example, wealthy, but like overweight, and they're not happy. It's the happiness and the, if you only have like one part of that running, then other parts will suffocate. So that was the first lesson and the first insight for the strategy for like 2021. So it's not directly business, not related to the ads, right? But it's so profound and so fundamental and so important that if you neglect it, then it will just have, like big impact, right? Not in a positive way, but more like in a negative way. And so that was the first one. The second one, and by the way, guys, we have put like basically the training programs that we have for sale, right? So you guys can take advantage of that if you want to. If you want to just like learn, the insights that we've accumulated running our business, helping our clients, and basically take those insights and implement them into your own business. And we have a special price right now, so you can see the offer somewhere in the comments, in the description, if you guys want to take advantage of that. But that was the first thing. The second was that dependency on one traffic channel is just very dangerous, right? So for example, our business is still like heavily dependent on Facebook, right? And obviously, with bans, with all of these things that happened, especially Q4, we've had tremendous Q4 nevertheless, but it just shows again how damaging and how vulnerable business can be if it's only dependent on Facebook advertising, right? So for 2021, we want to diversify. We want to have multiple traffic sources. We definitely want to leverage influencers more. We want to have faces, behind the brands that we own. So we want to make brands more personal. We want to have the differentiating points between brands. So it's not just the product, like random product that everyone has, but there's like specific person, specific story, right? So that's basically the big emphasis that we want to put into it. Every great brand has a great story, and that's one of the elements that we have put some effort into it, and it just worked very well, but we haven't put it into all of our brands. And so this is exactly what we'll be working on moving forward. So having that story and then finding a way to communicate that story through different marketing channels, not only depending on Facebook, but also leveraging other channels so we are not in a vulnerable position. And then the third insight that we basically learned throughout this year is that throughout the business, you always have to evolve, right? So for example, if you're running a dropshipping business and you've been running that business, like the same dropshipping business like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, with bad customer experience, or you haven't like added anything to your business, then pretty much the trend for your business will not go up, right? The trend for your business will only go down, right? Because that's how everything works in nature, right? If it's not evolving, if it doesn't become better, then it just becomes worse, because nothing in nature is static, right? Like for example, if here they have these, let's say they have the water, right? So they have the water, and if they do not put effort constantly on a daily basis, or weekly basis, into cleaning that water, right? Basically just leaving it static, then what will happen with that water, it will just like the quality of it will get worse, right? Because water is moving, but then there are like different bacteria and there are different like elements and there are different plants in that water that will have their own like natural way. Now, let's say you have e-commerce business, like let's say you have dropshipping business. That business is particularly vulnerable because now if you're selling exactly the same product as everyone else, now the barrier of entry is that low, right? Like everyone can just jump on the same product, like take your customers away from you, right? And if they have like better ads, better creative, they can just trump you, and take your customers. And so this is what happens with businesses that have no differentiating point, right? And last few days, I had very good conversations with 8-9 figure business owners, some of my friends, and that's just incredible that the businesses that have the most business needs to have an edge, right? That's like in the short form, right? And so business needs to have an edge, and business needs to constantly evolve. So if you're running exactly the same business, exactly the same way, exactly the same Facebook ads and Shopify store, I mean, you might do well. You might do well to a certain extent, right? But keep in mind that it won't last. Like the only way it will just go down, right? If you do not evolve, if you do not protect your products, if you do not make your products better than your competition, if you do not make your marketing better, right, and diversifying channels. So that's referring to the second point. That's big lesson that we have learned. Also, Facebook is still king. Facebook is still the best, right? You can do extremely well with Facebook still, but if you're relying on that, and a lot of people have what I call this like ad depression, which means your ads perform well on one day and your mood and everything is like perfect, and then your ads perform like shit the next day and your mood is like bad, right? So your ads perform well, your mood is good, and then your ads perform bad and it's like your mood is shit, and then you're angry at yourself, at your family, at Facebook, like at everyone, right? And everyone, damages your relationships, damages your health, because, stress is the worst thing there's like good stress and bad stress, but that's a bad stress that's causing your body, and especially something that you cannot like fully control, because, you cannot have the ads running like exactly the same every single day. If that was the case, there would, people would become billionaires, right, out of it. But there are different factors. There's competition, there are auctions, right? So those are the factors that, need to be considered. And so we've learned that lesson, for example, so we wanted to sell, the portfolio of the brands that we operate. And that was one of the questions, like how you are protected from, from these changes in the marketplace. I mean, numbers look good, like, multiple 8-figure revenue, very healthy profit margins. But, what is the advantage? Like, how do you take it from here? And if someone takes the business over and they have these like challenges with ad accounts and stuff, then pretty much it is very like vulnerable, right? And so that lowers the valuation of the brand. Obviously, it is still sellable, it still can be sold, but the valuation is lower. Then you're thinking about the value of your time. So what is the value of your time if you put all of this effort into your business and you're trying to build something out of it? Obviously, it makes profit, so that's awesome. So you're taking some of the profit to have, decent lifestyle, a good lifestyle. But at the same time, like if you're building something for like 3-5 years, if that's not sellable, those at least from business perspective, like those 3-5 years are wasted, right? So it's either like very high profit that you could generate from the business, or it should be sellable. Then you have a big payday, and it basically pays for all of the effort that you have done. So we are now in, we might sell our business, right? But then, the valuation won't be as high as we would want it to be, right? And so that's a great lesson, because you can see some of these like entrepreneurs that dedicate like 2, 3, 5 years to building the business, and then selling that business for, let's say, 50, 100, 200 million dollars. Then, definitely from the business perspective, that's justified effort. And so if you start thinking about your business from that perspective, it just gives you a lot of clarity, and just gives you kind of like insights on what needs to be changed if you want your business to grow in that direction. So that was the third lesson, and now like reflecting a lot of that on that stuff, but we cannot complain. Everything's been like pretty good considering all of the mess that happened around the world. So I'm very grateful for that. And again, guys, I'm very grateful for you listening, watching these videos, and I want to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And if you want to take advantage of our Christmas offer, there should be the link somewhere in the comments. And as I'm very grateful for you, I'm very thankful for you to watch. Like, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Next year we'll be sharing a lot of great insights with you guys, making sure that we're helping you to grow your businesses in a sustainable way, not just like short-term profit making, but also making something out of it and growing something sustainable. So this is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you can just like this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. Thank you.